to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw.
Outside, and that's going to help. Like I said, the fighters that's up and coming.
From the outside, I just want to help. Like I said, Lamont Roach is an up-and-coming fighter. Rumor has it that Floyd Mayweather is training him for his rematch against Gervonta Davis. With Mayweather's elite defense and fight IQ, Roach is polishing his technique, footwork, and ring smarts. Lamont Roach's training footage looks sharp. His speed, footwork, and technique are all on point. He's improving fast. Every punch is crisp, and his movement is smooth. He looks more focused and driven than ever, pushing hard to prepare for this fight. Lamont Roach is fired up. He says he's training harder this time to make sure he wins. The controversy from their first fight is fueling him. He knows he has to go all out in training to prove he's the better fighter.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound-for-pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
Floyd Mayweather has always liked mentoring young boxers. He played a big role in Gervonta Davis's early career, giving him advice and fight strategies. But now that Davis has left Mayweather Promotions, Floyd is working with other fighters, including Roach. That makes this rematch even more interesting.
Do you will come back to boxing?
Oh no! I'm not coming back to the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing was good to me. I was able to make a lot of smart investments on the outside, and I just want to help. Like I said, the fighters that's up and coming. Like I was talking about, like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't understand why he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Benavidez. The list goes on. There's so many tough fighters out there. So many great young champions out there that I'm proud of.
Mayweather often talks about how he helped build Davis's career, but his comments have caused some tension between them. Davis, who wants to make his own name in boxing, gets frustrated when Mayweather takes credit for his success. Their rocky relationship adds even more drama to this rivalry.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team, because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
This isn't the first time Floyd has trained a fighter going up against Gervonta Davis. Before this, he worked with Frank Martin before Martin's fight with Tank. Since Mayweather knows Davis's style inside out, his guidance could give Roach a real edge.
Young fighters, he loves to embrace guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting, and has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. Go do it when, because 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, because you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponent sleep. It could be little things that'll take you to the next level. That Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heave to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He can show you something, you know, and it could be the same thing. You know, you might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of like feel about yourself.
You know, he the one told Frank that I was running at 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to beef with him than be cool with him because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
Floyd Mayweather has always focused on a smart, defensive style of boxing. His emphasis on technique and precision fits well with Roach's skills, and Roach seems to be adopting some of Mayweather's strategies. However, some critics say Mayweather's training methods have flaws. They argue his fighters rely too much on defense and not enough on endurance. Others question his belief that short training camps are enough, saying long-term conditioning is key to winning.
You train 6 weeks before the fight, and Floyd Mayweather messed these boxers up thinking that they can only train 6 weeks before the fight and then they'll be good. Y'all remember when Floyd said that? Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. And all these fighters adapted to that. Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. Only one that haven't adapted to it, I have to give them props where props is due, is Terrence Crawford.
To get ready for Davis, Roach wants to spar with Jaron Boots Ennis. He thinks Ennis's style is similar to Davis's, so training with him could help Roach handle Tank's speed and power. This could be a game-changer for Roach's strategy.
Is it true? You did want to see him get some work with Boots? I saw in the interview.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Boots.
You gonna call him?
I'm gonna call him. But what? They say they what? They say that.
Shit, that's right up the road. That's right up the road.
Look, obviously, Tank cracking. Boots cracking. Why not?
Roach feels like people are sleeping on him. He's confident that when fight night comes, he'll shock everyone, especially Gervonta Davis's fans, by pulling off the upset. His self-belief and hard training have him more motivated than ever to get that win.
But came to fight, was a very competitive fight, good fight. Yeah, you wore him down, I remember very well, wore him down, took control, looked very impressive. And the rumor is, not the rumor, the facts is, you have a fight coming up in a few weeks versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's gonna be an upset.
Roach has been open about his training and skills, saying he's done everything necessary to beat Davis. He sharpened his power, stamina, and defense, leaving no weak spots in his game. As he puts it, he's stepping into the ring as the full package.
Beat 30 people, knocked out, 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. He probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. That's evidently a power puncher. I got too much. I got too much for me to go out like that. I'm not saying he don't, but I can't. Like, if anything, I'm trying to flip it around. I'm trying to make it flip the narrative. Like, I'm the one in there thumping.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and a longtime Davis supporter, reviewed their first fight and was surprised. He thought Roach actually landed more punches and outworked Davis, who didn't look like his usual dominant self. Jeff even said Roach might have done enough to deserve the decision.
I think that's the worst decision I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides. And I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. Thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do, and then go to work. But this time when he went to work,
the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him the same way.
Yeah. I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight, actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Why do you think that is? Roach was pretty lightly valued coming into the fight, moving up a weight class. It's not somebody that they expected to give him a huge challenge. What do you think it was that Roach presented to Tank that made it so difficult for him?
The one thing is that he fought at the right distance, and he let his hands go. And that's the most important part. That's how you win a fight, by letting your hands go. I mean, Gervonta was sitting back, waiting like he normally does, and then all of a sudden he finishes them. He always finishes his opponents, but this time it didn't happen.
Boxing analyst Saus Walka has been loud about his take. He believes Roach clearly outboxed Davis in their first fight. Walka argues that Roach's smarter game plan and cleaner execution should have won him the fight, and that real boxing fans saw Davis get outclassed no matter what the judges said.
You think that they should have counted that point against him? Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like, when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people, emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
Boxing commentator Showbiz. The adult spotted something strange during the fight. He questioned why Davis immediately went to his corner after getting knocked down.
Y'all explain to me how the hell that wasn't a knockdown. That was a knockdown, period. He took a knee for the break. That's a knockdown. You can't pump fake a knockdown. Everybody would be pump faking knockdowns. Y'all gonna be like, Tank was smart for that. You can't take a knee, pump fake a knockdown, and then walk to your corner in the middle of the round and scream for a towel, and they wipe you down, and there's gonna be y'all saying some disgusting shit. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, Tank can do what he wants, because Tank, yo, hey, listen, we ain't got that kind of time, dog. You can't do that, bro. If any part of your body other than your feet touch the canvas following a landed shot, is a knockdown. Who is fixing the fights now? Oh, shit.
If Devin your God, y'all gotta pay me now. I gotta get the knockout. If not, y'all gonna give it to him.
Who is fixing the fights now?
Davis's team isn't panicking. His coach says their original game plan was solid. They're just fine-tuning the details this time around. They're focused on perfecting their strategy and making sure Tank is 100% ready for the rematch.
Shit. I mean, is he a boxer? Do we even need Tank to be 100% to beat Jake Paul?
I mean, I would say be 100% because of his size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
And Jake Paul is getting better with time, you know, compared to when he first started. He definitely he's learning. A lot of guys ain't had no amateur fights. They turned pro and they learned on the job, and that's exactly what Jake doing. You know, especially in the heavyweight division.
Do you think Jake Paul has enough size and power to stop Tank?
The first fight was arguably the toughest of Davis's career. Roach pushed him harder than anyone before, creating problems Tank hadn't faced until then. This rematch will show if Davis can adapt, or if Roach's style will keep giving him trouble.
And most notably, I'll just speak about a fight that, we just had with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. My message to Tank after that fight, it was given a draw. A lot of controversy around Tank taking a knee due to hairband in his face or his eyes, so forth and so on, and burning his eyes. And, in my opinion, it was a competitive fight. The judges judged it as a draw. A lot of people were saying it was rigged, all these different things, so forth and so on. Whatever it may be. The fight is over.
Roach believes his success against Davis came from his unique approach. Not every boxer could pull off what he did. His combination of skills, patience, and pace control made him effective against Tank. And he's confident no one else can replicate that strategy.
Lamont, you've now shown the world the formula to how to beat Tank Davis.
Maybe not. I mean, I'm me. I don't think a lot of guys possess the same skills that I have. If they go in there and try to fight like me, they might not succeed.
Davis's trainer, Kenny Ellis, isn't buying the hype around Roach's training. While he respects Roach's hard work, Ellis says real toughness shows during the fight itself. Training hard is good, but taking punches and pushing through when it counts is what really matters.
So, without the knee, you have it 7-5 Tank winning it. How does Tank feel after the loss? I mean, the draw.
I mean,
it seemed like he took it. He seemed like he took it well when he had the mic.
I went to the press after press with Tank. I mean, we didn't discuss it. I ain't talked to him yet.
Okay. Looking at all the fighters talk about the knee, does that surprise you?
Well, you got haters with everything he do. They just got Tank haters. But fighters been taking knees through the history of boxing. So people want to talk.
So you believe that this was an honest mistake when it came down to Tank taking that knee, or do you feel like this is something that happens in boxing?
It wasn't illegal, so I ain't gonna say it was a mistake.
That's why I asked you that exact way. Like, do you feel like it was a mistake, or do you feel like no, this is a veteran move? This is stuff that happens in boxing.
It happens in boxing. It happens in boxing. It wasn't illegal.
That's all for today's update. Make sure to stay tuned for our next breakdown.